Thanks so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, my earlier videos, I rhyme. I haven't rhymed in so many years, but let's do it. I've been quite busy writing the book for 2025, and that should be in the caption when it comes out. It's just a couple of days away from coming out on Amazon, so yeah, if you like, you can pick one up for yourself, for your loved ones. And yeah, I will be also doing a special video just for the book. It's the seventh one of its kind. I predict the year ahead every year. Still going with that. So let's have a look at this month of November. It is about relationship with time. If you don't really care, do not mind. Just let the other people through and out. Let other people learn the way they want to learn and talk the way they want to talk. And ouch, sometimes it burns. It stings. It feels alive. A Scorpio is something very heavy for so many people. It is something that does like to strive and go too deep. It pushes way too much, and often so much essence is just hurtful. But it does like to be there for reasons that we need. And sometimes in a Scorpio month, things do gain a lot of velocity and speed. And we make things go far and deep and strong and tough and through because the Scorpio month does like you. It is not an evil, dense, and hollow sign. It likes to speed things up sometimes, and we do like to mind things better than we've done before with Mercury and Sag. It is an open door to new experiences, new extraordinary things, and new excitement. Really? Yeah, Scorpio can help you out. But it's not really healing if you are too tight. You have too much to do. Sometimes control and having things just so may not really be up to you. Eventually, a scorpionic energy will come and take controls out of your hands so you relax them and enjoy the ride. And you can't carry quite so much inside. So yes, a detox and a cleanse may be all right, but not really so good because we're in the dragon year. And it's true because the year is all about the wealth, the health, the vital vibrancy. It's all entirely about you just winning, claiming, thinking better, doing more. Indeed. But for certain people, for some reason, I do feel we do not have the self esteem or creed because we have so much inside, so much we're hiding deeply in our souls. And yes, maybe this is what is obstructing your best goals. And yes, the goals do change should you be cleansing truly. So if you're doing a detox, do it please maturely, because if you don't make a bad decision anymore, it's going to close the door. The door you're staring at is going to just close, lock, and disappear, because we truly are all trial and error here. We're all just healing. And this is the thing, if you do heal your soul to such a deep and epic level, your previous realm will be just rubble. And that's what I'm suffering from as well. Because it can also send you through a sort of like creative hell if you do really need to suddenly restructure and redo your whole entire life. I mean, can you imagine? This does bring you strife. But there are some people that don't like that stuff at all. They like to be exact on who they are and what they do. And they do not want to lose control. And that's the soul. The soul is really stuck on things it doesn't need. So please be aware of lust, obsession, desire, and greed, as this is going to be a very bad and hopeless time to feel any of these things. A Scorpio just locks you up, and it does like to dream with you so close and personal. Indeed, there is so much device for evil during such a time, and there's not enough esteem. And yeah, we need to break away and break out. We do. I mean, I'm just doing it in poetry today. And how are you? What are you doing Just right now, please answer. You can if you want. You can be perfect at a job but still be quite the dancer. You can be doing things in such enticing, crazy, and magnetic ways, but you don't need to do it all at once. The thing is to be just enough in everything, and praise will come. Sometimes a light and passive way of looking at your life is better than being so stuck in and true, because the Scorpio time is a little bit more electric than you. It can tell you a story and then shut it off or take it away. It can make you a promise and then it will sway. It will make you dance and go very deep for nothing at all. So if you have a lot of lust and depth and ego and desire, you will probably lose control. It's really hard to drive a car for many hours here. It's really, really hard to do the same thing all the time, because it's not really near the main point that Scorpio is trying to make it, and that's just all about that which you seek is on the inside. So what are those things that you're trying to hide? Hiding things is something that's really quite important, because that's what we need to do sometimes to make our life more potent. It's like, I'll never tell you what I've got going on. You can just go out there and, sing a little song. I will never tell anyone what I've got. It's a secret. And that's also kind of wise, but if you really think about it, just see it. Open your heart and just be right there. The year of secrets is not upon us. A snake is yet to come. So here, just have no fear. Just open up and see what is inside of you and other people. And maybe that will help you grow your life and keep things simple, because there's just so much going on. There's just so much in the sky. And maybe you don't really want to be that claustrophobic with your life, or be that guy that doesn't do the things you really want to do. So sometimes in Scorpio, things are not up to you, and it's quite okay to let another person drive you. After all, it is okay to bear and open up your soul to let another person in and just have a look. Although some of this stuff is really not by the book, a lot of this is really confidential, but it's not really that perfect, because we just really want to just squeeze that anger and that frustration out of our souls. And often it's not um, succinct with other people. Often it is not as deep and healing as just simple, look, just snap this off and cut this loose, and here you are. Just go for gold. But it's also abuse. Like, abuse can happen during these types of months, as some people just don't have the patience for each other. And yes, lust and needs and wants do take precedence over that which you've got or which you've lost. It's really, really hard to actually understand yourself during quite an epic and emotional time. And some of us don't really have the presence, the capacity, or the brain power. And that is fine. It's actually quite okay to not have anything at all, as scarcity does rule the sky. And it's kind of just like a gaping feeling. It's annoying to each other, to know that there are holes and there are broken pieces, and we smother it away with sugar and with love and sex and adoration. We smother it away with fear or lust or interaction. We do not actually really need a lot of things we have. That's true. So I may be dieting during this time. How about you? Don't you think that you need less than that which you are having? Although some of this time is actually okay for surplus, as long as you are sharing. So if you're sharing your abode with other people, and if you can share your table also, it is very simple on the other side. And the more we give away, the less there is to hide. The more you just part of the party and you're just randomly giving things out, the better. Because maybe you don't really want to be there later. So if you have something that you do not need, maybe it'll give you self-esteem. to reel it in, that sensuality and depth you have for certain things and objects and certain people, and just share them around. Just make life simple. Do not hold on to anything you may not in the end desire, because you see there is an inner working that's happening in Scorpio just to take you so much higher. That's the whole point. That's the business of Scorpio in the end, you see. So, I mean, what I like to say, a lot of this is very much me, me, me. A lot of Scorpio is just about yourself and other people. It is about depth and depression for a few. And just to keep it simple, it is a very needy, epic, and emotional feeling. And it's a lot of sacral chakra, obviously. So we are healing. The best to do is to get lighter and more direct, to prepare yourself for the sign of Sagittarius yet, because it is a very dark, intense, and philosophical desire that Scorpio brings up just to repress you and decide for you really who you are inside, and it's just to take you higher. So it's not really about suppression for the rest of your days. It's just about you knowing who you are and not just following a craze and not just shocking people left, right, and center. It's not about being angry anymore. It's just about being obvious, relatable, and simple, because it's kind of like we're building a new sports car here, you know. As Sagittarius is near, and we do have Venus in Sag for some of this month too. So where you're going after this repressing phase in Scorpio is up to you. You know, do you want to go out there and really do something that you enjoy? Or do you want to remain in a box? Do you want to keep coy? Are you hiding? Are you sitting on your money? You know, are you trying to be just best friend of just a certain type of people? You know, are you tired of lying? I mean, is it really, really that bad after all? Do you have something in your body that you're still keeping under wraps or in control? Are you tired of anything here? Because you see, Scorpio brings up a lot of juice and it takes out a lot of fear. Juice is something that we've really all got going on, and you really have to feel it inside and let it show. Like, let it bubble up and be a volcano if you like. Or just let it be something you share around, like a cup of tea, you know, in the night. Let it be a conversation that goes on for a little too long. Let your juice be a song, even if it sounds really strange or it's too strong. Let your juice be the new nails or a new haircut. Really, it's just about being juicy and full of vitality. And here we are healing. Vital people are really important during this time. A sense of vitality is really caring, but it's scarce for some people. And why? Is because we don't all have the same feeling of health and desire, as Dragon Year does promise to take you much higher than you've been in a previous round. But sometimes it's just not enough kindness or love to share around. There's not quite enough density and not quite enough perspective, and in certain people's lives there's just not enough anything. There's just emptiness, and that's the other side of Scorpio here, is just looking at the void and saying, I have no fear, like I'm lucky and loving anyway, you know, I'm doing this or that and I'm okay, you know, I'm here with this person or I'm here with another, and it actually really never mattered which one was my lover. I really didn't ever really truly care after all. So the whole thing is just about being, wow, I'm alive, and losing all control. So life as a focus is a very, very interesting thing to feel and to be and to breathe, because we do not really want any longer these thinking patterns in these situations where we are just constantly waiting for something, and we sort of praying for other people's affections, and we are intuiting but we're not really saying, we're not really feeling, because there is something in Scorpio that's really impending, like something is nearing. And that's what it is all kind of about. The focus is lost when we really know that we're toast. Like sometimes the situation is basically come to an end, and we kind of always knew. But it's not really about the impending doom. Like, I'm not going to concentrate on that. How about you? It's just more about sometimes money and how you've spent it in times before, and sometimes it's just about um, getting away from it all. And what for is just to really feel something and to have an adventure, to respect your body, and to know how it feels, and how to mention that which you really, really want, and that which you do, and that which you are drawing attention to. It's not really about, hey, I'm okay, just like you know. It's about making friends for a genuine reason. It's also about treating your soul with respect without treason. It's about making a friend of you. And after all, learning to handle that fire. And it's just about making a friend of the world and then taking it higher and climbing the mountain to God or to greatness, really, as we do have quite a mistake that we've probably made in the past. And it's healing to know that you had a disease and it's done is outstanding, and also to realize that you have quite a lot more in front of you to transcend and keep on transcending. Is all ever okay is just about feeling alive. As Scorpio is about genuine gifts as well, sometimes for show and sometimes not. And it's just about life, the feeling of life. As Sagittarius here is just about knowing how to push and forward you go into that next career or into that business or into that adventure or just any other kind of portal life. Education is just about walking away from the loss and the fear and the feelings. It's just about walking away from the home where there are lies and there's emptiness. It's just walking away from a friend that doesn't want you to heal and to grow. It's about walking out of the job and walking out of that soul part that is no longer healing. It's just knowing that there are certain endings, and you don't really have to face them again. Some of this stuff is gone, and it's just like, amen. You never have to go back to some of the things that were looming just like a month or two ago. And in some cases, you don't even have to know. Sometimes things are just cut and snipped and done in the end. And sometimes you're thinking, is this happening to me or is it all in my head? And some of the time it may actually be a bit of both. But believe in this time, nothing's really lost and you're not a ghost. It's just about loving who you are beyond the way that you've loved yourself before, and then using all this mental capacity and this intensity and this love for life itself to open yet another door. So essence and brilliance is that which you really want to cultivate here. And some of the time, not that many people know, but like we just don't hear and we don't see, we don't smell, we don't feel a thing. We don't have any senses switched on. And we just don't bring, and this is the thing, it's like we don't feel anything, so we don't have nothing inside. And how you deal with that is up to you to decide. Do you want to learn something? Then you got to burn down some of your situations, maybe some of your recreational activity or some of your conversations. I don't really understand what you really need to do. It all depends on the individual this time around. It depends on you. Did you really feel like you were, like ready to shed it all and let it shine? Or, are you still kind of like painting that picture? And it's no crime to keep on going where you've been going before and trying so hard to be diligent. And for sure, it's actually not that bad to be as kind and as needed and as small as you wanted. But then there is this kind of question, are you sure life will not be boring then? So like it's daunting, but please understand where there is lifelessness in your life. Where are there lifeless energies? And what is not all right? Like, what do you have in your life right now that's just not working, no matter how much you care? You know, is it just about like chopping those split ends off? Is it just about like, I don't know, cutting your hair, or like healing your mind, or just changing the way that you dress? Or is it about something a little bit stronger than that? Are you depressed? Now, if you're really depressed, you can check out my Patreon channel. Sure, you don't actually really have to do that, but it's very gentle. Sometimes people just need a talk and a conversation. And yeah, we do have a very friendly sky out there this month. And maybe there is so much to mention. And maybe for some people, for some reason, you just have to come true. And maybe an opening up to somebody, you'll see the real version of you. As Gemini is just about friendships after all. But can you open, or do you have too much control? Is there something that has taken over your soul? Is there something overgrown? Was growing way too fast in your situation? Is there something way too much for your own sake? Is there too much to mention? Is just, do you have an infection? Infections spread so fast in Scorpio time. And also, sometimes we do not have the capacity to shine simply because we're overcrowded with that which was sitting there inside. So why don't you just say what it is and just don't hide? Just tell the people what is going on with you. And maybe quite a lot of your dreams and visions will come true if you just tell somebody, really. A lot of stuff is just about opening up and healing. And sometimes healing is a club or a little society or a situation, because not all of it is about getting through to yourself. Maybe that's the karma here. It is also about compassion. As we learn to listen and speak to each other, we're not just dreamers, we are friends. And maybe sometimes we are estranged, eternal lovers, and quite a lot of it is just about just coming true. So that's the question here. What do you really have also at the end of the day for you? And this is a very interesting thing to question and to ask, because avarice and greed and needs and lust and deep desires and rights and situations and so on and so forth is something of an innocence. In fact, it's just like kids that cannot share their toys. It is infectious. Greed is just a way of feeling life within your hands. This is mine. I do not comprehend if someone else would have that for a day or 2 or 3. This thing is made entirely for me. So that's the thing exactly for this very season, is just to not feel greed at all. I do not think so. It's just about having feelings beyond the tangible physical desires in the end. And knowing that there's just too much to this world to comprehend. And even if you didn't want to, you will have to grow. And underneath it all is just a new reality, just a new vibration ready to be shown. A brand new concept ready to be sown. A brand new realization of what now is right now, today. But some of it is going to be hard and not okay. But don't you care, don't you fret, because this is not a time of purity being disabled by regret. Regret is not going to help you during a dragon year anyway. Why don't you just wait around till 2025? And yeah, there it will sway. A snake will show you out of some dimensions where you've been too long. And that's another choosing, that's another karma, that's another song. And we will see so much transcendence happen in the next 2 years. Oh, golly gosh. Yeah. Though with the Scorpio sun and going to Sagittarius, we do not have to gush, we don't have to walk out of the previous concept of our souls. Just, you don't have to be so cold, you don't have to be so bold, you don't have to be a believer that you have to like walk out of Babylon today. You don't have to be a seer, you never had to be so smart or so adventurous or so developed either. It's just about being an open book. And here you've got it all. An open book in Scorpio is hard to find. It is not really the most tempting or seductive side. The point is, when you don't really know what you're getting, is kind of okay, but it is open in front of you, then hey, I've already seen everything here. I've already seen it all. And maybe that's where fear comes from in certain human interactions, social media and such, is simply like, are you becoming a little common for the bunch? You know, are you becoming a little bit too common? Does it make you common if you're simple and strong? Does it make you common if you're just a human? And it's not wrong to fear. If you were actually here and if you really opened your heart, would you just be a commoner? Let's start to understand, where is that fear coming from? I don't want anybody to know. I don't want anyone to be around. I just got so much to do and I'm way too proud. And that's, you see, like, that's absolutely okay. But if you really wanted to live, it is not. Because just think about, like, how much karma is there, like how much you've got if you've spent every day of your life thinking back to what you could have, should have, would have done. And if you really are starting to become no fun, like you just don't want to belong to anybody, you don't really want to be with anyone. And this is actually happening a lot also to me and my friends as well. Because, you know, internet is just such a bottomless pit. It is just such a vast well of human non-interaction indeed. And things happen so fast these days with so much energy and speed. You see, we don't want to forget our kindness and our humanity, and face a world that seems so strong and tough with its ego and its darkness and its calamity. It's actually not really that bad after all. It's just whether or not you're open right now to bear a bit of your soul, because all of it is going to just be okay, come what may. If you are open enough, we will see you, and people will change you, and some of it will stay, you know, some of it will stick. And I know it sounds pathetic and it doesn't really feel like real life, but we've come here to change how each other is, and perhaps through some strife and some conflict, some things are resolved, and sometimes that is not how we do it. The way of the war and the conflict is old. It's not really about war. It's just about conversation and having some intelligence and having some fraction of soul, at least, connecting to one another. And maybe through just conversation and feeling all right together, we have dreams. And yes, indeed, we've got lovers, and we have sex and procreation, reproduction. All of this is truly about this type of sky. But also, it's not really that big a deal. Uh, you can just keep it simple, keep it real. And I do feel that, in a way, in very young and fresh design, this type of month is simply the best for newness and renewal, and realizing what is yours is mine, and everything is just beautiful. And yet, of course, it is kind of binding, or is bound. Sometimes people are nowhere to be found in such a month. They just want to disappear and step away. And some of us just want to go outside and play. And sun or rain, it's always going to be fine. But isn't it insane? Wouldn't it be amazing to just let go and run away? Wouldn't it be amazing to just find somebody new and sway? Wouldn't it be incredible to just enjoy, rebirth yourself in new ideas? Wouldn't it be incredible to just start it over? And here I feel, or I fear rather, that it's not going to be the end. It's going to be rather annoying and uncomfortable if we are rushing to be somebody that we're not. And I do understand that some people do have incredible epic skills, and some have not. Some people don't have the skills to just start a life again. Certain people do though, and that's a wake-up call to me. Amen. I do not know how, but some people are going to start life anew. And in certain cases, they're going to choose what they want and manifest and renew all their contracts, whatever they want. Maybe they're already living the life that they've got to the extent of completely answering their dreamtime ideal. Maybe it all depends on your soul qualities and how you feel. Maybe the whole body knows exactly what it wants to do. It is just whether or not you let it go to that extreme. So how are you? Do you feel that you have put yourself in a box or a cage? Do you feel that you give yourself headaches and rage? Do you feel that you are yet uncomfortable with the very qualities of your being, of yourself? And maybe for the selfish people out there as well, do you feel disrespect? You can uniquely change your life by just doing what you want to do. And then this month is going to double, triple, quadruple improve you. Just do whatever that you wanted to do or be. And you don't have to be alike to anybody. It just all depends on whether or not you feel and trust that you're the perfect person to live your life. And that means cutting yourself out from any narratives and any strife and any business that you just simply don't want to have in your life today. And it's also about just kind of being important to yourself and saying, yay, I'm well, and I just want to be who I am today. I'm well, and I want my karma to just go and disappear. And I do want to have a say in that which I do, not just follow pattern and act out of diplomacy. I want something that is filled with desire, inspiration, a little bit more honesty. And in some cases, I actually really just want to make love my main principle. After all, I do not want to just feel bored and have so much control and constantly design my life anew, just basically scraping by. I know that feeling too. Do you really just want to live the way you do? Or is there something a little bit more epic inside of you? Do you feel that you can have a better, bigger, more important feeling, and from that feeling of the world and you together? Really? Sometimes not. There's just a soul, and it's just so hard to explain sometimes. You see, the soul that you don't want to explore or use, an aspect of you that is hidden. See, it's kind of like an aspect of your soul that you don't want to be around. And maybe it makes you feel a little bit embarrassed, not so proud. But that is that which you do need to conquer life, or you. I do not know. However it is you do, you will succeed if you just open up your wounds and flaws. And if you really want to stop regret and crawling on all fours and make a better, more simplistic and eccentric or just enjoyable time, you have to see that what is yours is mine. And all of it is all just one big tapestry of world. And everything is beautiful, and it too will rejoice with you. It's just vibrational gold. A golden mean is reached already, yeah, in Libra. We've done it already previous month with South Node there. So just please don't worry about it. Just breathe light into your lifetime. There, okay? So that was that. I guess that was the month ahead for you. And if you're looking for something a little bit more normal, how are you? Okay. We do have Patreon. I have Patreon. I have a Patreon. I do a lot of work on Patreon. That's like where I study people and me. And I do a lot of readings there. And there are like 3 different plans. And I also do have a book that is coming out. I have several books. Sorry, I have like 15 books. I have 15 books. Okay, and though I've been shadow banned on YouTube for something, thank you. That's actually kind of good that it's happened like that. I've been banned for like so many years now. It's interesting. But yeah, I've got many books. I have Patreon. I have lots of friends. It's actually been doing pretty good. I'm just like opening my eyes at the moment, just trying to like sort of get a glimpse of the next phase. And yes, I will be producing more poems because my brain is bored. I get bored. I have to do something else. You know, it's kind of like fidgeting. Like I'm doing this and I'm talking. You know, it's like fidgeting. And also, if you want to know more about mind expansion, I made like a whole series of audios that I should probably be posting on my website about how to train your mind to be at its full capacity. You know how people say we only use like 10% of our brains. Yeah, yeah. But it's also tiring, you know, it gets tiresome. So never mind, nonetheless, if you do want to know more about me, there's my website, and I do need to maybe post that series on brain capacity. It's kind of like um, it's like a course on like how to use your brain. If you want, you can have a look. Maybe it'll be helpful for some people. And yes, I do sessions and readings as well. I do. So that's all available on my website. Thank you very much. Patreon is the best place. I put all the stuff there on Patreon. So take a look, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.